You know, take candle. Mine!
What's up, nerds? Kobolds are disgusting, little rat-like creatures who live in caves, aren't very smart, and are cowardly little rodents. They obsess over protecting their candles so they can see their way through the caves and tunnels they call home. But that doesn't mean they aren't powerful. I mean, look at their queen, Queen Wagtoggle. First off, stunning. From her purple lipstick to the lantern earrings to the candle wig perched on her head. What a lucky rodent the king must be. But those things aren't the best part of her. It's that fat butt then called her hero power, Wax Warband. Give her friendly minion of each type +2/+1. So basically a nerfed Lightfang each turn. And yeah, she's insane. Free low, as they say. Snap peck the rat when she's offered, and it's easy money. So the way I've been playing her is pretty basic. Stay at Tavern 1 until turn 4, grabbing minions from different tribes and hero powering every turn. Level to Tavern 2 on turn 4, and at this point you should have 4 different minion types. That means +8, +4 in stats for 1 gold each turn. I mean, it's crazy, she really is free low. Then on turn 5, level to Tavern 3 and hero power again, and this is where you'll actually need to start making decisions. You want to find things like Deflectobots, Bronze Wardens, and Crackling Cyclones to start buffing. Even Hangry Dragons are pretty good since you should be winning fights pretty easily and he should scale. But from there, level to Tavern 4 on turn 7 and keep an eye out for Hydra. He's a prime target for Wagtoggle's hero power, but also Wildfire Elemental. But the thing is, I'm typically not staying on Tavern 4. On turn 8, I immediately level up to Tavern 5 to look for things like Bran and Lightfang. And there is essentially no risk in doing so. If you've hero powered every turn, starting at turn 2, you should have gotten at least +42, +21 in stats. That's a huge number. Huge. So you really should have minimal risk in losing fights at this stage of the game. And from there, it's nothing too complicated. Find Lightfangs, find Brands, maybe aggressively level to Tavern 6 to look for an Amalgadon, or even a Full Reaper, and that's pretty much it. And when I say she's free low, I truly mean it. You simply hero power every turn, outstat the lobby, and win. Really, the only hard decisions are when to swap out those minions you picked up early with stronger ones from the same tribe that you find later on. But a few quick notes, she's stronger with mechs in the game. Usually you're scaling a Micro Mummy or Micro Machine early on, and pairing those with a Deflecto and slapping an Annoy module on them is really strong. But also, like I mentioned before, prioritize those Divine Shield minions like Deflecto, Bronze Warden, and Cyclone. Buffing them essentially gives double the stats since they should be getting in at least 2 hits each combat phase. But that's really it. She's pretty simple to play. Follow the refined leveling curve, buy a bunch of different tribes, prioritize Divine Shields, power level to Tavern 5, and just top 4. But nerds, don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. The final fight to this game is very interesting, and I think there's some gross misplays that my final opponent, surprise surprise, Galakrond does. And I want to talk you through those and talk through the positioning and where he went wrong and how he probably could have won this lobby had he just positioned correctly. But first, let's walk through each turn here. We'll talk about buy decisions. There's really nothing too complex though. Yeah, so nice shop here. I'm able to pick up a Deflectobot and actually sell off my dragon. I want to make sure the buffs are guaranteed on the Bronze Warden moving forward. But from here, I mean, we're looking for Hydra, we're looking for a Annoy module, but that's pretty much it. The plan is always for next turn to level up. We're at 38 health, we're probably not going to lose this next fight, and that way we can look for high priority targets like Bran, like Lightfang. And as you can see, pretty easy fight, so we follow our plan. We're off of the Primal Fin though, so now I actually have the gold economy to level, buy the Primal Fin hero power, as well as get the Discover, so a really strong turn. Nothing great from the Discovers, but pick up a pair, which is nice. So you can see no real risk in losing these fights. Early on, you just outstat everybody else, so there's really not a big risk here. Find a Hydra, which is a great find, then also find an Anoia module, another awesome find. And then we end on this Murazan, hoping to pick up the Light Fang here. Have the gold to do so. We sell off the pair. I could have kept the pair, but I did want to guarantee the buff keep going on that same stronger Murloc. No luck in Discover, just hero power, play the high main, call it a day. I'm liking the fact that I'm seeing a lot more mech builds now, like an iced tea on a hot summer day. Micros, nice pickup. Throw those on the micro machine to get a reset. And then we actually buy the Argus here. I'll taunt the Demon and Dragon and look for strong shells. I mean, if I find a strong shell in a buy phase, it's a ton of stats for my board. Ooh, another mech build. At least got lucky there to stay alive. So from here, just still looking for a brand, still looking for a Light Fang. Looking for buff cards like Menagerie Jug, but nothing too complicated. Grab a couple buffs, some incremental scaling, nothing too exciting, but take what we can get. And then there's the brand. No hesitation, I immediately sell my Murloc off for it. It was definitely my weakest minion at that point. And then it's almost always wrong to sell off the Sensei, the 4/5, in exchange for hero powering. Okay, I guess not. Ooh, Battleground got some chunky dragons on board. Another tie where we were favored. That's alright. And now it's really just prioritizing buff cards, cycling those in and out. Easy win against my Ev. And I grabbed the Houndmaster here. It does taunt my Hydra, but I have so many taunts on my board already, I'm not too worried about that getting sniped before it actually attacks and gets value. Murzon, pick up a brand pair, grab the jugs. And I mean, look at the board, we're really strong. We have a ton of stats. I'm not too worried about being taken out by Tess here. Can't imagine she's improved enough since our last fight to the point where she's buffed up her mechs to be able to deal with my stats. Huge Hydra swing. And easy fight. And from here, I go up to Tavern 6, really just looking for an Amalgadon. A little scared of Galakron. He had a Kalecgos and some chunky dragons already, so he could outstat me. And then we end on the Harvest Golem, just a second reset. Nothing terribly important though, couldn't find anything better. Yeah, and this is what I was scared of. Not just the Kalecgos and chunky dragons, but also the Nadina as well. We take pretty minimal damage, but this is going to be tough to win. And take note of Galakron's positioning. You know, this is something I wanted to talk to you guys about, and if Galakron would have fixed his positioning in this fight, I probably would have had no shot at winning. But from here, it's just on to picking up more buff cards, really going to prioritize higher impact cards, as well as look for, obviously, an Amalgadon. So I put my Hydra first. If I can attack his Hangry Dragon, I'll take out not only the Dina, but I'll take out the Caligos. That way it doesn't get a Divine Shield and has no chance to attack. No luck though, he attacks first. So something I think is strange is why does he have his Bronze Warden in the back and his Hangry Dragon up front? He really should have those two flipped. And also I would lead with the Bronze Warden and have him in first position. Otherwise you're leaving yourself too exposed to the Hydra to be able to get cleaved. We lose the fight again, but we improved our odds that time around. And there's the golden brand. No Amalgadon though, which sucks. Grab the Myexna, just taking the poison to hopefully take out one of his big boys. Pick up the Micros here. It's probably a mistake, but I'm thinking I want something to deal with the Divine Shield Bronze Warden that's going to be at the end of his board. In hindsight though, it was probably better to keep rolling to look for Amalgadon or better buff cards. And then here's a sneaky smart play for me. I pick up the Ghoul and put it in second position. So this gives me really good chances to actually destroy all of his Divine Shield so he gets minimal value from his Nadina. So if I attack first, based on his positioning, I'll have guaranteed to kill all of his Divine Shields, and if he attacks first, the only minion or only taunt target that he can hit that would be bad is the Unstable Ghoul. And then my Deflecto is positioned behind the Micro Machine, that way I can get the reset. And Galakrond, what are you doing with this positioning? You have both your Nadinas in a position they can get deleted by my Hydra. I'm so confused here. Really, you should have the Bronze Warden first, you should have one of the Nadinas second, and the second Nadina you should have in the back, in between your Dragon Enforcer and your Amalgadon. This shit is blowing my mind, I swear to God. But also, with this positioning, you're leaving your strongest dragon, the Dragon Enforcer, susceptible to cleave as well. You should be switching that and the Amalgadon. There's so much head scratching based on Galakrond's positioning here. So our plan works like a charm. We're able to knock off all of his Divine Shields with the Ghoul, but we still tie the fight. And a little late, but we pick up the Amalgadon. Kind of a tough decision on what to throw away here. I'm initially thinking I should get rid of the Demon. It probably has the most value of any other minion on my board. But I'm thinking there's no way that there's more positioning gaffes that Galakrond can do. We're at a high enough rank in this game where he should fix these mistakes after 2 fights. And I don't think I'll be able to get the value from the Ghoul like I did before. And then add some more micros. They could be the difference in the fight at the end, so pick those up. And then we get really good adapts, Divine Shield and Poison on the Amalgadon. That's huge. And same mistakes again. This is so strange to me. His Dragon Enforcer is still next to his Bronze Warden. Bronze Warden still isn't up front. He still is putting his taunt in second position, leaving him more vulnerable to a cleave. It's just very, very strange. So we get first attack in. We take out his Nadina, we take out his Caligos, and then his second Nadina, which was in 4th position, gets 0 value. And it's an easy fight from there. This is a game that Galakrond threw. Poor positioning was his downfall. So what's the lessons learned from this game? Well, first and foremost, Wagtoggle, crazy strong, almost a guaranteed top 4. But also, positioning matters. It can not only win you fights, but can lose you them as well. So moving forward, make sure to snap pick Wagtoggle when you see her and properly position your board. That'll do it for me. Godspeed, nerds.